And we are back now with that growing confrontation in Dearborn as that highly watched city council meeting gets underway.
Anti-Muslim influencer and pardoned January 6th rioter Jake Lang is inside the building right now, along with crowds of people supporting him and, of course, opposing him. We'll take you inside in a moment where Megan Lee has been following closely. But first, let's go to 7 News Detroit reporter Brett Cast following the chaos outside of that meeting. Brett, I don't know if you can hear me. But it looks like Brett is talking to an officer right now.
I think.
Brett, if you can hear me, what has been happening out there outside as the meeting begins?
Yeah, sorry, Mike. We just had to move back a little bit. We have the police over here. You can obviously see the riot gear. We have Dearborn police. We have, it looks like, I believe this is from the county here. I'm not, or maybe from the state. It's actually Wayne County. But again, you can see the huge police presence. We've seen police officers on the building. We've seen them down on the ground here. Right now, again, Jake has gone inside, so there's no big anything going on in the front of the building. But we have different kind of just groups, crowds, I guess. There's people with speakers giving messages. There's people kind of just gathered all around, having different conversations. Police have been trying to make sure there's no fights breaking out. We have seen some arrests earlier when some of those confrontations turn a bit more physical. They're stepping in and making some arrests. We have not seen that in the last few minutes here, besides the police keeping everyone out of the main area, the front of the building. But still, there's plenty of crowds gathering, and people do not seem to be in any rush to leave the building here, or leave the front of the building. We know that the meeting inside is at capacity right now, is what we've heard. So no one else can get inside, but a lot of people have showed up for this event here today and have been here for hours standing out in front. So again, this is what the crowd looks like now. It looks like a relatively heated argument going on over there. But again, that's what we've seen a lot of. Heated arguments that if it does begin to turn physical, we've seen police jumping in. We've not seen anything extremely physical breaking out, but definitely a lot of heated confrontations out in the front.
Yeah, and the riot gear brought in. We saw a couple tactical moves made as the escalation started to pick up, Brett. But as we speak to you, we see the council meeting starting, and we have a clear shot of Jake Lang appearing to look at his phone. We're still trying to figure out his message for today or why today. Megan is inside, of course, gathering that for us. But, scenes outside, small spats of people sharing their viewpoints.
Yeah, can you hear me, Glenda?
I can hear you, Brett.
Yeah, sorry. So to my knowledge, there isn't a particular reason why today. There's nothing like on the agenda that he's here for, per se. I believe that, he's been to Dearborn before, we know that. He talked in front of the crowd saying, deport Muslims. He was ranting about different faiths. And that's really why he was obviously in Dearborn. A large Arab American population here in the city of Dearborn is what brought him out here to the city council meeting. Why today? I don't entirely know. But he's been telling people and planning for this day and asking people to come out and follow him, and that's what's brought so many people out here today.
Do we know whether he made good on some of those things that he had said he was going to do initially when he came, like burn the Quran outside? We haven't seen images of that, or...
Right. No, we actually didn't see any of that here out in front. So he was kind of escorted, I would say, like the state police. So right when he got to the front of the building, it was a mad rush to the front of the building. He really had no room. They had signs. Then the riot police came out, pushed the crowd out, and Jake and his group, his small group, had an area that they were going around, kind of confronting the crowd, filming it. No one was burning anything. There wasn't anything that, he talked about having a pig roast here. Didn't see anything like that. But that doesn't mean it's not happening elsewhere in the city or on the yard that I can't see. But Jake was not a part of that here in the front of the building. It was more so just shouting to the crowd, holding his signs, and that was pretty much it.
And Brett, we asked you earlier kind of about the balance between people who are from outside the area who are coming to Dearborn because of Jake Lang versus the number of people from Dearborn who are there, to confront those people who showed up. Any gauge at this point in time about the breakdown currently?
I'd say it's maybe more local people have been showing up, or at least maybe that I'm just seeing them more where I'm at. Can't really say one way or the other because now obviously the meeting going on, I don't know what the makeup of the meeting is. So earlier today it felt like majority of people were coming to support Jake Lang, but now it does feel a bit more mixed. I really couldn't tell you which way it leans, but I'd say at least 50-50 outside, but I don't know what it's like inside either.
All right, Brett, we sure do appreciate you being there live at the scene. And above all, please stay safe out there as you continue to report tonight. We'll be right back.